Hi guys, welcome back. This evening, probably gonna keep it a little short today. We're just getting here kind of late, and it's Sunday, and the girls gotta go to bed here in a little bit. And two, I think it's gonna get kind of iffy on storms tonight. So uh, we can see Cece, she's back there in the back. Anyways, main focus is we're gonna get the shims out of the top hinge, reduce them back in order to get our striker where we need it. So the door actually shut instead of just hitting it. And once we get that figured out, probably gonna jack up the rear and add another shim to this side to kind of get this gap closed a little bit more. And if that all works itself out, then we'll look at this for just a little bit. I think this is gonna involve a little bit more than just a quick mock-up video, so to speak. So I think we're gonna have to do some modifications to either the fender itself or the door pillar flange, as in where the fender sits. Might have to try to just bend the flange back to the front and leave the pillar where it is right now, because it fit pretty good last time. But main thing is getting our door to shut and trying to get this gap back. I think our bottom gap here is okay. I'm okay with it. But anyways, like I said, don't got much time out here, so let's get to it and start pulling shims out and getting the door to shut. Go ahead and show you how many shims we had. It's a little excessive, I think. Talking about that size in there. I think we can trim it down some and get the door to hit the striker, and then we can lift the back, and it should hopefully close that gap how we want to. Anyways, let's take a few of these off and see what happens. I think I may actually pull the fender off because the hinge is hitting the actual fender in here because the fender's back so far. So we're gonna pop the hood, take the fender off, get the door shut right, and then we'll worry about the fender. Hopefully have time the rest of the day, but if not, it'll be next week. But we just want to get the door to shut and the gap to be good. Take some more shims out. It's still a little too high on this top part, but I think if we take the big shim out, it should loosen the gap. It's a lot better, but I think we get one more out, and hopefully that'll keep the door raised up. I think that's got it. Door opens easy enough. It does kind of bounce down a little bit, but I think that's because this is tech screwed in. Probably use a little bit more support maybe. But it shuts a lot nicer and opens a whole lot nicer. So I'm gonna turn the attention to the back. To another shim in. I think I got one made already somewhere. If not, we'll cut one and throw it in there and see if we can't get that gap just a little bit better. Hopefully it doesn't mess anything up on the driver's side. Is the only issue I'm thinking might happen, but worth a shot. All right, so let's make another one. Oh, there it is. Found it. Alright, we'll slip that in there and see what happens. The driver's side still looks good, so we'll go ahead and do one more. Hate to do it, but I just want to see if that will bring that closer together. I might just go ahead and jack it up to see how much space would be needed for that gap to get a little bit narrower. I think we need to loosen this off just a little bit more and see what happens. That seemed to help it quite a bit. So looks like we can get at least one more in there. And we'll lay it back down, tighten this back up. Then I'll show you what it looks like, but of course the back end's now off again. Anyways, I'm gonna cut one of these right quick and then I'll slide it in there, see if one will do it. It may need to. Anyways, I'll be right back. It's a lot of shims. Anyways, let's look at this door right quick. Gap's more uniform than before, so I'm happy with it. Kind of one of those things, it is what it is. I figure if I go up any more would bring that gap better, wouldn't it? I know y'all say don't to go off the level for anything, but this, whoever's interested, there it is. It's not great. Kind of back to how it was when we first did all this, and this gap's still really good. Open the door, make sure nothing happens. Yep. Wish I get that pasture side like this. I think this is where we need the fender on that side to be. So everything just seems to fit better, even the hood when it lays down. It goes to the end of this right here. And the other side, it's sunken in just a little bit. So I think that's what needs to happen there. Well, I'll get my wife out here just to let her look at it and see what she thinks. But me, I think that'll be okay. It's not perfect, but like y'all said, these didn't come off the factory with precise body lines and door gaps and such. So this may be something we have to work with. But I do have just a little bit more time, so we'll go ahead and put the fender back on there and see what happens. Well, you kind of see this right here is kind of bent out. Looks kind of weird. There. Anyways, let's put the fender on. Yeah, still the same situation. Something doesn't fit right here. I think it may be, I don't want to move the A-pillar any forward since we got a decent gap in the back. Other fender is trash. The original, it's crinkled up in the front really bad. I could get it and see what it looks like on here to see if it's just the fender that's needs messed with, or if it's the A-pillar itself. Look at the driver's side right quick. Alright, the door, from going off the driver's side, the pillar needs to move forward some, maybe. Because where my door ends on the passenger side or driver's side, straight up, this body line splits this peak in half, and I'm this way of it. So I think it's the door pillar, the A-pillar needs some work done. So we may next time take the screws out from this back side here all the way down, strap it like we did the other side, and try to twist it forward just a little bit, but keeping all this side screwed down on this side. Hopefully it'll push it back just enough to give us what we need, and maybe separate this seam here. That's what I'm thinking about doing. But for tonight, I think we got a good result. It's about back how it was. This body line is it's pretty good. I won't say not the best, but it works. And this even right here is really close. Door could probably move up just a hair, but I'm happy with it. Yeah, at least it still falls a little bit, but acting like I need to take another shim out of the hinge. It's hitting just a little high still. So I don't know. Shuts a little hard. Thinking about taking another shim out and seeing what happens. Yeah, let's go ahead and take another shim out right quick. Didn't work out the way I wanted to. It shuts easier, but our gap is still there. So don't know what to do now. Put a shim back, make that gap better, but this is still off. Figure if I don't know, I'm gonna think about it, but anyways, it's getting late. I gotta get back in the house. At least I got the door to fit better. It does shut easier now. I say it do. It does slam it a little bit, but I think that's just the mechanism. Needs some grease in it. But next week, I think we're gonna, like I said, pop the screws off this side and kind of crank it back that way just a little bit. Try to get this fender to go forward and the door edge to go forward just a little bit. I know it's gonna make this wider back here. So I'm gonna think about that. And just, if y'all have any suggestions, let me know in the comments below. But yeah, we'll work on this next week, try to get this straightened, and then we'll hopefully start be prepping to weld everything up and move on. But anyways, thinking of new subscribers does mean a lot. Getting this thing pieced back together slowly. Like I said, I want to get out here one day a week and try to make the most of it. But thank y'all for sticking around, and next week we'll be on this fender, hopefully get it squared away, and we'll go from there. But thank you, and I'll see you next week.